Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to show you guys how it is that I've been enjoying my nails. This vintage style, really nice half moon nails. You can apply this with regular polish, but I'm going to be using gel polish in this particular video, so I hope you enjoy. So for starters, I have this Cuticle Pusher and I have my handy dandy Colombian cuticle nipper. We're also going to use the Sally Hansen instant cuticle remover. So this one I just like, it makes them soft really quickly, and then I can go ahead and just use the Cuticle Pusher to go ahead and, push them back. So for this step, I know some folks like, nipping them off, some folks don't. It's up to you, but I just like this step because it keeps them prepped for the clipping. But like I said, you can omit the nipping and just leave it like this. Clean it up, and if that works for you, then that's good. Lucky, because for me, it looks all janky. So I go ahead and use the nippers. This is a Colombian method. Well, at least for me, that's where I first saw it, where she pulled it back like that consistently while you're clipping. So I would do that lightweight, but the way that she had it was very, very taut. So that way I could go ahead and get the side ones, because for me, those are my biggest point of issue. The rest, like, around the lines, the smile lines and all that, like, that's fine. Like, it doesn't really pose an issue for me, but I do like them when they look really clean. As you can see, the thumb, it looks really clean. I didn't nip myself, and I just really like how it looks. So I go ahead, wash my hands to remove all the extra gunk and stuff, the dead cuticles and the Sally Hansen cuticle removing gel, so that way we have nice and clean hands to work on. So I dry them off, and then we're gonna go ahead and prep when they're nice and clean. Ta-da! And we're gonna work on buffing. So a light buff. I mean, usually the polar block will suffice, just a light coat, or one that's like 100 on 100 grit, and then you could just softly do that. I find that it helps with the gel adhesion. So I use Beetles. This one is readily available on Amazon. They're really, really good. I haven't had any issues with lifting with this brand. When I use proper, steps and whatnot, I don't have any issues. So if you're rushing and you do it and you don't have time for it and you kind of skip a step or make it a little janky, it's going to show. I also use their gel polish kit. This one, it's more for like, decoration and stuff, but I find it's really easy to go ahead and do the half moon nails using this. As you guys can see, the bottle, you see how it kind of like leaks and stuff. I usually have it sitting up and it still, kind of gets all over the place, but I still love it, and I'll use whatever gel is on the rim there just to kind of fill in whatever I'm doing. But as you guys can see here, and I'll switch up the view so you guys can see a little closer, I go ahead and I do the half moon. It doesn't have to be perfect right off the bat. Remember, it's gel. Don't saturate it though, because if you saturate, it's going to well and it's going to look all like it's just harder to remove. But you can kind of have the guideline going there, and then you can keep going back in and kind of just filling it in nicely. And then, as you guys can see here, I'm just kind of filling it in long ways like this, like doot, 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 and trying not to get it too close to the skin and kind of just filling it in as is. It usually levels out. This one is not bad in the sense that it kind of looks thick. And I do 2 coats of it. So this is the first coat, I cure it, and then I do another one, and then I do the top coat. So right now, as you guys can see, I'm curing that one. You can also blast a little bit in between if you are working a little slower, so that way it doesn't move that much, if that makes sense. So this one I'm showing you guys an aerial view because this is my non-dominant hand, and it's a lot harder, especially, even for me. But so what I do is I make a triangle. So I go from one side and I try to like pull myself if possible. So see, I do a little triangle there and I do it on the other side. And it's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect the first time. It's like, we're trying here. So you just kind of drag it out, doop, and then you pull it a little bit to kind of curve it a little, if that makes sense. So that way you go ahead, you find that, you get some more of the gel, and then you fill it in. So again, same steps as before, but it's just a little trickier because you're trying to do it with your non-dominant hand. So you fill that in, and as you can see, it's like doo doo doo, little by little, try not to get it too much. And I do end up getting it on my skin, and I'll explain to you guys how I remove that once we get there. But just so you guys can see, it can be done, especially on the non-dominant hand. I know it's a little hard for us, and they don't show the truth of that, but that is what it is. And this is how the non-dominant hand came out. So as you can see, it's still a lot better than it was before. And then at this point, once we do both cures, we go ahead and we add the top coat. So this is also by the brand Beetles. I really like it. It stays well. It doesn't peel off. I also wanted to mention, because when you see my pinky, you see that there's a little bit of gel there. You can either rub it off with a tissue paper, or you could go ahead and rub it with a 100 grit nail file and just softly buff it out. And that works really well too. So there's points where you'll see, like, if you miss a spot, you know, don't be too hard on yourself. Like, usually it'll also like come off if you wash your hands and stuff. So right here, I'm adding my tried and true gelish cuticle oil, and then I go ahead, give them each little nail a little massage, and there you go. So it's something very easy. I've also done it with regular polish, and I'll show you guys in a sec, but this is how these ended up coming out. I really like them. It lasted a while. And this is the one that I did with regular polish. Same rules apply, just a bigger brush, but you take your time and you could do it. So I hear I'm using Andrew as a hand model. And then we kind of go off. And yeah, but thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.